Hello there and welcome to my channel. In today's video you will be seeing a watercolor painting of an environment from a Steven Universe episode titled Jungle Moon. And now don't worry, there will be zero spoilers in this video, so if you haven't seen the episode or you haven't watched the show, don't worry about that. So to start off here, I began my planning phase for the painting since I really wanted to take my time with this painting and really be effective with all the different stages of the painting. Yes? Does that make sense? Okay, so at the beginning there you saw that I took a screenshot from the episode of the landscape reference that I wanted to use. So after I took the screenshot and I imported it to my iPad using the Procreate app, I took a bunch of color swatches of the original art just to get a feel for the different color palettes and to see how the different colors work together and so on and so forth. And then after that I digitally recreated the drawing, so I pretty much just traced over the original, and then to see how the different shapes of the plants and etc. were, since it is an alien planet, I kind of wanted to get a feel of the environment. And then after that I only used the color swatches to recreate the image like I said earlier, so I filled in all the different colors and etc. And then finally, after I did all of that and I pretty much have a somewhat replica of the original, I kind of added in my own little details and experimented with things I might want to add in my own painting. So not pictured in the video, afterwards, after the digital study, I took to creating swatches in watercolors of the different colors that I figured out were in this composition. So I tested out and tried to learn how to make these colors before actually jumping in to the actual painting. And then at the beginning we already passed that part. However, I did a wet onto wet technique to get a nice gradient for the background from the blue to pink, and then to make it a little bit more seemingly, that's not the right word, cohesive? Maybe? That's not the word I was looking for, but to make it look a little bit more unified, I added a glaze of yellow over the whole entire background, and then it kind of filled in those white gaps between the gradient. And the key with this painting was really building up layers. So you can see right now that I'm just very slowly starting with the beginning layers, just very light shades at the beginning. When you're doing such a detailed piece like this, you don't want to overdo it, especially with watercolors, since it's difficult to get the white of the paper back. You work from light to dark. So this painting took me a very long time. Over several days I was doing this, not like several days in a row, but I did spend quite a few hours every single day for probably like 4 or 5 days in a row, a couple hours each day, so it took a long time. And the reason I decided to go through this painting is that I really wanted to paint a landscape, but really take my time with it. So I didn't rush anything. I tried to wait as patiently as I possibly could for my layers to dry, and I carefully mixed together the colors. So what I learned through painting this piece, I especially learned how to wait patiently and to really think about the different processes and the different layers and every single stroke that I was putting into the paper. I was really mindful of the colors and the color combinations that went through it and how to create a more cohesive color palette, I guess. I feel like I said cohesive so many times already in this video. I don't know, maybe it's a little overkill, we'll see. So now moving on to what I'd like to improve on for next time, or next time I kind of embark on this huge painting adventure type thing. So I want to be a little bit more bold with my colors. In the end, when I compared my painting to the actual reference, the colors were totally off. Well, they weren't totally off, it's just the saturation was totally off. So obviously in a cartoon, the colors are very bright and vibrant, depending on the setting and so on, but in this exact reference, the colors were quite vibrant, and this planet that they were on was teeming with life, I guess. I don't know where I'm going with that. But anyways, I need to learn to be a little bit less afraid of the paints and kind of be more experimental and throw more paint on the page and be a little bit less fearful of wasting the paint. And yeah. What else was I going to talk about? Be more bold. I took little notes here. Like, I'm not trying to sound too scriptive, but I put little bullet points of what I wanted to talk about. And I don't know. So, another thing, if you've watched this video so far into it and you have not watched Steven Universe, I highly recommend it. Maybe some people might think that it is a kids show, however, it is, well, it's not the opposite of that, but it's a really good show. There's a lot of ideas and elements to it that are very adult ideas, and even if you're a kid, it's great. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's all I have to say. So this video is kind of wrapping up, and as you could see as you're probably watching this, or maybe hearing me ramble, is that I did not nearly film all of it. As I said earlier, it took so many hours, and I think the footage I recorded was around 3 hours, and I skipped out on a lot of things. So yeah, there's that. Anyways, as you can see, I kind of focused on a couple major areas. I am doing this flower, for example, right here because it is very similar to the other flowers in the background. I also did the rock asteroid type thing, and then I did one of those weird, like pineapple type succulent things, I guess. Anyways, another thing I forgot to add in the actual painting was all the way at the beginning I wanted to add a little moon at the top to kind of balance out since the sky was pretty empty, and I only added a little bit of clouds in it later on. Yeah, I totally forgot to paint the moon in when I started doing the background, so I just cut out a little circle from watercolor paper and then painted it on top of there. Anyways, my throat is starting to hurt. I've been talking way more than I have been talking in my everyday life, I guess. Is that weird? I don't know. But I'm going to go now. There is a few minutes left in the video, but thank you so much for watching. Stick around and subscribe for more if you're interested. Make sure you watch Steven Universe because it's an amazing show. And yeah, toodles!